In the middle of the vast ocean, when dawn has just broken or the night lights are still on, the ships cut through the waves and head out to sea. Each turn of the propeller, each sound of the waves, is the beginning of a journey to find the treasures of the ocean. This is not only a job, but also a rhythm of life, a source of pride for the fishermen who stick to the sea, day and night, bringing fresh fish to the mainland. From the deep blue sea, the heavy net gradually emerged, full of fresh fish struggling in the water. Each lift of the crane was a breath of suspense, waiting for the results of a whole day's work. The sound of waves, fish splashing, and the rumbling of the winch combined to create a bustling music in the middle of the ocean. When the net was pulled up onto the deck, a sea of fish poured out, shimmering silver and red. The sound of fish splashing in the water mixed with the joyful shouts of the fishermen, signaling a bountiful catch. Each fish was the result of many storms and winds, a joy that gave strength for the next voyage. Fishermen hold each large fish with pride in their eyes. Full baskets of fish are neatly arranged on the deck, ready for the journey back to the mainland. This is not only the result of a day's work, but also a testament to the perseverance and love of the sea of the children of the fishing village. Amidst the bitter cold of the sea breeze, fishermen in thick raincoats still persevere in pulling in their nets. Each yellow buoy stands out against the blue waves, guiding the heavy nets to be gradually pulled into the boat. Everyone coordinates rhythmically, each movement decisive, preparing for a new, hopeful catch. The net was just pulled up. Hundreds of silver fishes simultaneously poured onto the deck, splashing in the sunlight. The fishermen quickly controlled the iron hooks, bringing each heavy batch of fish into the storage area. The sound of the fishes flapping their bodies was like a song of celebration for a successful fishing trip. In a moment, the deck was covered in silver fish. They splashed around in the water, reflecting the sunlight like pieces of glass in the open sea. The fishermen continued to pull in their nets, their eyes shining with excitement at the sight of a bountiful catch. Under the night lights, fishermen hurriedly haul heavy nets from fishing boats to freezers. Each batch of fresh, silvery fish is transferred quickly to preserve its freshness. This is an important step in the voyage, ensuring that the seafood reaches consumers with the original flavor of the ocean. Thousands of silvery white fish poured into the ship's hold, covering the net below. The sound of fish falling mixed with the sound of waves lapping against the ship's side. creating the characteristic sound of fish transfers at night, when every operation must be done very quickly to preserve the freshness. Once again, the fishermen worked together to pull the net. Plates of silvery white fish were gathered towards the mouth of the net, pouring into the freezer compartment. The working atmosphere was urgent and rhythmic, all aimed at the goal of catching the most fish on this favorable night at sea. The big tuna, with firm bodies, thrashed vigorously in the net. The fishermen quickly used force to pull each one out and pass it onto the deck. Water splashed everywhere, the sound of fish hitting the net echo, showing the strong vitality of the gift of the sea that had just been harvested. The green net stretched out on the sea surface slowly narrowed. A few tuna were caught in the nets, their silvery shine shining in the sunlight. The fishermen carefully pulled each section of the net, preparing to collect the entire catch that had just been trapped in the middle of the ocean. The net was pulled close to the side of the ship, each large tuna struggling fiercely inside. The fishermen stood on both sides, coordinating rhythmically, using poles and bare hands to gather the fish, preparing to bring the entire catch onto the deck. The atmosphere was bustling, everyone was highly focused to complete the job quickly and neatly. Each heavy tuna was lifted out of the net by the fishermen using their hands and hooks, and quickly transferred to the deck. The sea water splashed with each strong kick, showing the strong vitality of the spoils just pulled from the ocean floor. Fresh tuna are immediately placed in storage tanks after being pulled up. As soon as the tank lid is closed, the fresh taste of the ocean is preserved, ready for the journey back to shore and to consumers. From the deck of the large ship, giant rolls of nets began to be lowered into the sea. Each layer of nets slid quickly through the pulley, stretching out across the water, ready to set a trap in the middle of the ocean. This was the opening moment of a new fishing session, promising to bring in abundant catches. The winch began to turn, bringing heavy nets to the deck. The mesh was soaked with seawater, interspersed with the silvery gleam of fish caught within, signaling the beginning of a harvest. The atmosphere on board grew more animated as the results drew nearer. From the depths of the sea, the mouth of the net gradually rose to the surface, full and heavy. The bright red patches inside revealed the newly caught spoils. The sea surface bubbled wide around the mouth of the net, signaling that the moment of harvest was very near. The giant net, full of bright red fish, was pulled up onto the deck. The shimmering red and silver created a brilliant scene in the middle of the ocean. The fishermen quickly got into position, preparing to open the net to collect all the spoils after a successful fishing session. The net was opened, thousands of bright red fish poured into the hole. The sound of fish falling echoed throughout the deck, marking the moment of complete harvest after a difficult but also fruitful trip at sea. Each fresh fish rolls evenly on a modern production line, preparing for the preliminary processing and cold storage stages, ensuring the quality is maintained from the sea until reaching the shore. Today's offshore journey ends with a full catch of fish, the hard work and dedication of the resilient fishermen in the middle of the ocean. Thank you for joining us on this trip. If you find the video interesting, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel to continue supporting us on our next trip.